something better.
It's crazy how things start, man, because you chasing cars, then it leads to one of the best careers we ever seen in Burgundy and Gold.
Yeah.
Now your career has pivoted to being on camera, man.
Yeah.
You're Emmy nominated, man. You have multiple shows. You keep adding and adding shows. You talk about the things that you dreamed about and always knew. I gotta imagine this part might not have been something you dreamt about ever.
Nah, look, I told myself, man, I wanted to be in Miami with my feet kicked up with an umbrella in my glass and an umbrella over my head, you know, on somebody's beach. But like I said before, man, like you look at what you have kind of brought into this world, your kids, and you like, okay, I can't stop working because they're expensive. Regardless, don't matter how much money you got in the bank, you got to keep that thing rolling in. But also, you know, like I always tell folks, I'm all about opportunity. And if something is presented to me, man, I try my hardest not to say no to it, especially if it makes sense. And I think when you know, I never retired at first, initially. And so the fans was like, when you gonna retire? They thought I was still working out. And I just so happened to pop in town because I was in Miami waiting on the call. And my agent and me was going back and forth with just, you know, teams that had called him. And deep down inside, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to leave Washington, go play nowhere else. And I had already talked to the GM at the time. And he was telling me, like, look, man, you know, in respect for you, we're gonna allow you to go out there and test the waters. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm a free agent. I don't want to test the water. I just want to come here. But when he told me that, being the guy who I am, I didn't even go against what he wanted. Because I could easily, nah, bro, just bring me in and let me compete. But to me, that was like, you basically didn't give me a chance to compete. So I don't want to beg you for, I'm not going to beg you for anything. You know what I mean? I'm going to go make mines or make a way for myself. And so with that process, in that process, I end up enrolling into school to get my MBA while I was sitting out. And I'm like, you know, the opportunity had presented itself. My agent, like, you might want to, you know, dive into this if you ever had any aspirations of getting another degree. I'm like, I didn't. But I do need somewhere for my mind to go, you know? And that was the best thing that happened to me. And while I was in school, felt like a fish out of water because I had been out of school for so long, it gave me something to kind of, I guess you can say, go after again. Like I was eager to get this degree now. Football was in the rear view. And I remember when my agent like, hey man, I got a call from this person, that person. I said, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. After 8 weeks, if I ain't getting the call that I want, I'm good. And I believe it was like the week that I told him I'm good, we got 2 calls. And I was like, to be honest with you, man, I'm happy that people still see what I saw in myself. But I'm gonna be honest with myself. I'm not gonna go and be Santana Moss, you know, coming off the streets like this. You know what I mean? I'm too old into these years of football to be just coming in on your team where everybody done played all these games and they're in top shape to be saying I can go out here and compete now. So I just said I'm good. And I came up here, I called Dan. I said, Dan, I'm just letting you know, man, I'm gonna hang him up. I'm in school right now getting this MBA, but I'm gonna hang him up and, you know, one day I gotta come up there and I retire, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I wanna see you this weekend. They had just made the playoffs, I believe. And I flew up to go to the playoff game. And I remember being around everybody. No one saw me for like almost the whole year. And the media folks asked me what I was doing. They said, hey, you want a job? You want to work? I was like, sure, because it presented itself. Right, like I said, it's hard to say no when something presents itself, whether it's something you was looking forward to or not. And to me, I think that was one of the best decisions of my life, just taking advantage of an opportunity that was given. Wow. And the rest has been history, man. I think I've been growing in this space for the last, 11 years now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just trying to get better and trying to perfect it and be what I can be to the profession, you know what I mean?
And it's dope for me because I get to see the fruits of your labor in this business in real time when we're walking around, whether we're in the DMV, whether we're in Dallas, New York, Philly, and people come up to you and they're so excited to see you. And instead of mentioning all the things you did on the field and accomplished, they mention Command Center. Yeah. They mention Command Center Pockets. They mention Players Club, man. Yeah. How wild is that for you? Somebody who was known for not having no love for the media back in the day to being somebody that's recognized for being a media face.
It just shows you where our world is at today. You know, everything on our phone. And so You know, those who like podcasts, those who like anything dealing with sports, especially the local team, and you know, they rep us hard out here in Washington.
They do.
I'm from Miami, and you know, we was the Hurricanes when I was playing in college, and if we wasn't good, people weren't showing up. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the difference of a sports town. You know, as much as we want to be known for sports town or a sports state, ain't nothing like up here. You know what I mean? These people gonna rep you through and through. They gonna deal with the bad, but they can't wait for the good, and that's what I love about it. And to know that folks get a chance to see those shows and watch, you know, I'm like, y'all watch that? You know what I mean? Honestly, I'd be shocked a little bit because you don't think people are paying attention to that stuff, but they do. And a lot of them want to hear from the people that they watch play the game because they like our insights. They like what we have to say about it. And that's why, you know, now it makes me, like I say, I keep bringing back these same words. I'm embracing that, knowing that, look, man, I'm giving them something that, you know, they want to hear from me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just I'm on the show because I was once a former Washington player. Yeah, I was. And they love to see those same guys, but they also want to get that information from those guys who once played, you know, right between them same white lines.
Man, and we'll get to see you on Game Day Live with me, you and B. Mitch, man. Tanner could have took the time off, but he said he gonna work while he's getting honored. Then we gonna party later. Tanner, man, last thing before you go, bro. Something that stuck out to me last time we spoke, and it's rung in my ear since you mentioned it to me. You used to say when you and Sean T built your relationship, it built from that plane rides. Those plane rides where he would just be tapping you, hey, Tanner, man, we gonna talk. Forcing you to talk even though you didn't feel like it. If y'all was sitting on this plane right now, brother, and he knew what you were about to accomplish, what you were about to be entering, something that he's entered as well, what do you think that conversation would be like on that plane?
He'd have been like, you know this. You know it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, we have a mentality, and it's something like I think about all the guys from, you know, South Florida, and then you can just say from guys from the Hurricanes too. Us UM guys, man, we put in the work, you know, and our work shows because, for one, the school has always been one of those schools that you're going to watch the guy that come out of that school. But not only that, it's just a way about how we approach business. And Sean would have been probably telling me, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming because, you know, like I said before, we understand what we're doing. We gonna get recognized for it one way or another. You know what I mean? And when it happens, like I said before, I just embrace it. Amen. You know, I'll be an appreciator of it.
Amen, bro. We're so excited, man, to celebrate you, my brother. Santana Moss, man, you've done so much for us on and off the field, brother. We appreciate you,
Appreciate you, man.
And you alluded to this a little bit, man. Last thing, my brother, what do you want Santana Moss's legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it, man, I try to search for something more than what I just told you about a guy who did more with less. But I think that's been me. That's been me. I've been a guy all my life that almost was given, you know, but so much to achieve some of the things that I wanted. And the one thing I've always did, I took what you gave me and made more out of it. That's how I can look at it. And that's what it's always been about. Like I said, even when I got into college, you know, when I had to go through that back door of being a walk-on, I could have easily just tapped out and say, look, man, I know I'm a hell of a football player, but this is the card I've been dealt. So just sit there and be less than who you are. I wasn't. I was going to get in there and say, okay, I'm in this dough now. Now it's time to show them what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's been the same way for everything, for every other thing. Even when I was going into college, I remember I had an Army recruit guy who was recruiting me in school. I don't know why, but, you know, they had those guys in school. And nothing against the Army because I found a different love and respect for those who all go out there and serve our country. When I went out there a couple of years ago and kind of hopped around to different bases and saw the Marines, the Navy, the Army, and what they do, I realized something. It's something bigger than just going out there and saying you're going to war, you're fighting. It's way bigger than that, man. So I have a different love and respect for them. But when I was 18, I wanted to play football. You know, I wanted to go to college to play football. So I remember that guy telling me, "Oh, you 5'9", man. You ain't." I mean, at that time I was 5'7". He was like, "You too short. You ain't nobody gonna want you, man, to play no. You ain't playing no receiver in in college. You ain't D1 material." And I remember listening to that guy do it, and I remember the first time I started, not even started, but the first time I got in the game at University of Miami. Unfortunately, I got in trouble that night afterwards, but when I got back around that school, I came home and I went looking for that dude. I wanted to look him in the eye because that's the type of guy I've always been about. So that's why I say, man, you know, when it's all said and done, man, just a guy that took advantage of every opportunity. To me, I think that's more fitting. I was a guy that embraced every opportunity and took full advantage of it.
Making the most of every opportunity, man. And as cool as it to see this chapter close for you, which is the Ring of Fame, we feel like we're right in the middle of your book, man, because you're already accomplishing so much. There's so many more new chapters that you're experiencing, man. So, Tana, we appreciate you always dropping game on us, man. What a big week, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Of course, man. Commanders family, our next man up, Mr. 8 to the 9. We will all be celebrating him at halftime this Sunday when we take on the New York Giants. Our guy, our favorite, Mr. Santana Moss. My brother, appreciate you and congratulations on everything, brother.